So who's ready for a shock? I've actually read the comic the thing I'm reviewing is based on. I know, right? Doesn't that just blow your mind? You know, not to gloat or anything, but this is actually an first edition of The Killing Joke. As you can see right in here, it says, let's see if you can see that. Well, it says copyright 1988. So yeah, this was bought when it first came out, and it's probably worth a pretty penny on eBay. And I got my fingers all over it. But yeah, you know what? I forgot that I actually had this. I was sorting through all my comics, and I found it. And for the first time ever, I'm actually going to be comparing the animated movie to its comic counterpart. So yeah, The Killing Joke, which was very anticipated, was released in theaters, but unfortunately I didn't get to see it in theaters. But I did get the Blu-ray DVD set, and I actually decided to spring for the limited edition gift set, which comes with a little Joker figurine. So why don't we go ahead and open that up and take a look at him. So there he is right there. There's Mr. J. Yeah, it looks really good. A lot of detail on there. Too bad my camera is not focusing. There we go, that looks a lot better. Alright, there's the Joker. So it's pretty cool. It wasn't much more expensive than the regular Blu-ray set. Oh, actually, this is a limited edition set, apparently. I didn't even it's got the it's got a number on there. Huh. Maybe I shouldn't have opened it. But you're not here to hear me talk about my collectibles. You want me to talk about the movie and the controversy surrounding the movie. So before this movie actually came out, they announced that they were going to add a whole bunch of things to it. The movie actually starts out with a completely different story, which is about this criminal guy who I think is just some guy who becomes obsessed with Batgirl, and it gets under her skin quite a bit, and she starts acting all irrational, and Batman has to try and keep her in check. And then the infamous sex scene happens. Yeah, there is a blatant sex scene between Batgirl and Batman. I don't recall in any continuity where they had any kind of relationship. I'm pretty sure they didn't, but this just comes out of nowhere. To be fair, I didn't really mind the actual storyline that was going on in this addition to The Killing Joke, but the sex scene was just completely pointless, and it's kind of glossed over as well. You don't really see anything. They cut away, but yeah, it didn't feel right at all. And I think that's what, unfortunately, people are focusing on when it comes to this movie, because it's not getting a whole lot of good ratings, because this is the first thing you're presented with in the movie, this whole story arc, and then the sex scene that comes out of nowhere. It's unfortunate, too, because when you get to the actual Killing Joke storyline, it's not a bad adaptation, really. It definitely hit all the key moments. It had the right tone, the right framing, all the dialogue is there, and it's made even better by the great voice cast. You got Kevin Conroy as Batman, Tara Strong as Batgirl, and of course, Mark Hamill as the Joker, who, as usual, steals the show. Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill keep saying that they're going to retire from their roles, but I don't know if it's them having second thoughts or if just studios keep coming after them to, you know, reprise their roles, but Mark, Kevin, you guys are really good at what you do, you know? I understand you want to stop doing it, but it's so hard. When you think about, you know, some of the greatest Jokers of all time, Mark Hamill's is up there. Some of the greatest Batmans of all time, Kevin Conroy is up there. And of course you got Tara Strong, who is Batgirl, who, while she didn't get a whole lot to say in the actual Killing Joke story, she was really good in the first part. And I just like the story. It has some great themes. It focuses on the Joker's origin, which you don't really see all that often. And it has this great thing about how the Joker has been wrong this whole time. He keeps thinking that the world is crazy, when in fact it was him. And even Batman at the end says, like, no, it's not the world. It's you. It's always been you. And I think there's a great commentary on how, you know, there are kind of people in the world that are like that. Unfortunately, people are going to be put off by all the extra stuff they added, like the story arc at the beginning, And they even added a few little things to the actual Killing Joke story, because there was a scene at the very beginning where they find the bodies of some of Joker's past victims, and there was an extended fight scene between Batman and the Joker's sideshow minions, which were fine. And I kind of get why they added in all this stuff, especially the stuff at the beginning, because for one, they wanted to give Batgirl a little bit more to do in the story, and that's fine. And the other thing is this is not going to fill an entire movie, unfortunately. This really is only about maybe a half hour's worth of story. The way I'm viewing this is that it's kind of like a mini anthology series. It's like there's two completely disconnected stories. You know, one's not great, but one is really great. And I think that's how a lot of people should view this. In fact, maybe they should have just made it an anthology series and then have the Killing Joke at the very end. There's plenty of Batman stories, so maybe they could have just did a whole anthology series. They did it with Gotham Knight, and it worked out pretty well. But if you're not a fan of, the first part of this, I'd say give it another chance and just fast forward past all that. Get to the 30-minute mark where the Killing Joke starts and just watch that. And I guarantee it's going to be a lot better. But honestly, the thing that bugs me the most about this is that it's yet another Batman movie. For God's sakes, DC, give it a rest already. Give Batman a rest. Give Superman a rest. Give someone else another chance at a movie. Give another animated Wonder Woman movie. Another animated Green Lantern, Flash, Cyborg. I would settle for a Wonder Twins movie at this point. Just anything but Batman and Superman. Please. Well, that's all I got for the Killing Joke. Leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of it. And what other standalone comics do you think would do well with an animated adaptation? My name is Rob, and have a wonderful day.